a king had come to the forest to hunt, but he lost his way. For 3 days he was wandering here and there, but he still had not found the way home. With the situation back out of control, he started praying to Uncle Jesus. Whoever gets him out of this jungle, he will marry his most beautiful daughter to that person and also give money equivalent to 3 horses. Just then, a small prickly porcupine stood under his walnut trees. The king was in a hurry, so without thinking about who was in front, he followed the right path and soon came out of the jungle. The next day, a businessman also came to the same jungle for hunting but lost his way too. After wandering here and there for 2 days, the businessman made the same promise. Whoever would get him out, he would give his most, and he will marry his beautiful daughter to him and give 3 kilograms of gold as well. As soon as the businessman set his condition, the porcupine came to his feet again. He promised that he would marry the businessman's daughter to him, that he would safely take the businessman out. The businessman was terribly frightened, so to save his life, he agreed to sacrifice his daughter and made a deal with the porcupine. After a little while, the porcupine led him out of the forest, but one day an old poor man came to the forest to cut wood, and unfortunately he also got lost. He had nothing. Still, he prayed that whoever shows him the way, he will consider as his son and love him just like his own son. Hearing this, the same Sahib appeared again and got that poor man out of the jungle as well. A few days later, the cold season arrived, and then the Sahib went to that poor man's house and started knocking on the door. When the old man opened the door and saw the Sahib, he was happy. Then his wife for him prepared a warm bed and let the porcupine sleep. The next day at mealtime, the porcupine asked the old man for a black rooster and a small harness. The old man brought them all. After this, the kind porcupine put the harness on the rooster, then jumped onto its back and started riding like a boss. Soon, the black rooster turned the porcupine into a businessman. Home. The businessman's dog seemed a strange sight, ran into the house out of fear. As soon as the businessman saw the porcupine, his senses were blown away, but he wasn't scared because now his daughters had to face it. He called his 3 daughters and told them they would have to fulfill an old promise made to the porcupine. Hearing this, the daughters started crying, but the porcupine chose the youngest daughter and set off with 3 kilograms of gold. On the way, the little girl started crying and said, "I will not come back until you all give me my share, because I know the guys he's active yo, and I will keep crying until I die." The porcupine felt pity for her, so he sent her back to her father, but 3 kilos. He took the bolt with him. Shortly after, winter passed, and Sahib once again went to the king riding his black horse. The king called the 3 princesses and repeated Sahib's story about the forest. The eldest princess said, "If you choose me for this, I will fight and run away." The second one said, "I would rather die than marry this Sahib," but the youngest princess said, "I will marry Sahib because that he saved my father's life." The king felt proud of his daughter for being so kind-hearted, but he was saddened by the thought that now he would lose his dearest daughter. The king kept his promise, sent his daughter off in the royal carriage, and also gave a carriage filled with gold, silver and diamonds. On the way, Sahib noticed that the princess was not crying at all. Instead, she was asking Sahib to sit beside her, to sit next to her. The porcupine thought the princess would be afraid of him and find him muddy, but the princess said, "It doesn't matter, I know you won't harm me." As soon as these words were spoken, a magic happened. The porcupine shook himself and turned into a tall and handsome prince. Then his black hawk also became a golden horse, and before their eyes, the carriage turned into a shining diamond palace.